Your website, do it yourself. There's enough money out here for all of us to eat. Do not let anybody tell you that too many people are selling hair, selling wigs, because so what?
Every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying, you a bad bitch, put your hands up high. Hands up high, hands up high. Tell them put the lights down right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you should definitely subscribe because you guys are a whole vibe, okay? Period. So as you can tell by the title, I'm gonna be putting you guys on to how to start your hair business in 2023 if you're on a budget, okay? Because hair can be very expensive. So just to tell you guys a little bit about me, I have owned my custom wig business for going on 4 years now. So it's been a minute. So I like to do these updated videos every year for anyone just thinking about starting any type of hair business where you just want to sell wigs, if you just want to sell bundles, you want to sell custom wigs, whatever you want to do. This is why I do these videos. I have a start in a business playlist. I can link that down below for y'all as well. I also want to say there's enough money out here for all of us to eat. Do not let anybody tell you that too many people are selling hair, selling wigs, because so what? How much people are selling lip gloss, lashes, and are still making a coin? So I just want to throw that out there. Now you're gonna have to spend something when you're starting a hair business, but I'm gonna pretty much just put y'all onto the ways where you're not spending as much as you probably think you're going to. And I'm gonna make this quick. I'm not really gonna touch on LLC and all of that in this video. What I'm briefly gonna say now is you do not have to have the LLC as soon as you start your business. If you do not have the money to get an LLC when you're first starting your business, that is okay. Just make sure you have a business license, y'all. And then when you can get that LLC, when you have the money, you can go back and do that. Take the LLC thought out of your possible expenses because it's not necessary when you're first starting a business. You're gonna get you an EIN number that is free. So back to actually finding out who you're gonna be purchasing your hair from, because I feel like that's the most important thing. Yes, I'm gonna give you guys some free vendors, okay? Hold tight. It's one or two things you can do when you're starting a hair business. Number one, you can go on to Alibaba.com or get you the Alibaba app. Alibaba is the wholesale heaven. Whether you want to sell lashes, lip gloss, you need containers, you need packaging, Alibaba.com is the way to go. This is the first way you can do it. First way you can find your hair vendor. So get on Alibaba.com, treat it like Amazon. You're gonna search for what you want, and you're not gonna purchase anything if there's no good reviews. Like, it's not even necessarily Amazon. Treat it like anywhere. You're not gonna purchase anything if you do not see good reviews. And it's gonna populate a whole bunch of different companies. You wanna go through it, and then you wanna pay attention to those reviews. Once you find a good 4 or 5 companies that you're satisfied with, that being the first companies that you're wanting to sample hair from, that's when you're gonna wanna put in your order for your samples. When you're purchasing these bundles or these wigs, you wanna make sure, number one, that the hair bleach is great. A lot of wigs, after you bleach it, the quality is not the same. So you want to go ahead and bleach that wig, attempt to color it, and see what it's giving. Just wear that hair, see what it gives after a week. After you wash it, you want to make sure that hair lasts. So it can take time. It can take time. I'm going to put y'all onto a faster way on how to skip through all of this in a second. But if you go this route, it can definitely take time. For me, with wigs, when I first started my business, I didn't know too much. When you're purchasing these wigs or these closures or whatever, the knot should not be huge. You should not have no huge knots in a wig, and that's the black dots in the lace. It should not be huge. It should be small, and it should not take forever for it to turn. You should not have no bleach on those knots for an hour. That's pretty much how you're gonna wanna test out those wigs or those bundles to know if you like the vendors. Second option, if you're not wanting to do Alibaba.com, you wanted to speed up that process, you can find a vendor list. I recommend finding a vendor list from someone that I don't necessarily want to say someone that you trust, not my dog in it. I don't want to say necessarily find someone that you trust because you don't really know anybody on the internet, but you can kind of feel out somebody's vibe. Like, of course, I got to throw myself in here. I do sell my personal vendors. So, and that's another thing too. When you're looking for a vendor list, try to find someone that's selling a personal vendor and not someone that's just selling vendors to sell vendors. Like lip gloss vendors, hair vendors, clothing vendors, and it's like 30, 40, 50 vendors on a list. No, that is not what you want, because at that point, you might as well go to Alibaba.com and get your samples that way. Because if somebody has a vendor list with 50 vendors, you're going to have to go through all of those vendors to see what you like. You might as well go to Alibaba.com. No. Find someone like me that's selling personal vendors that they use on a regular. And then with me, for example, one of my most popular textures, exotic curly, that vendor is on my vendor list. And I do have payment plans for my vendor list as well. So you can just put a down payment, it's yours forever to keep. And even if you're not wanting to go with me, you just want to do some more research, you can definitely do that. But when you're trying to find someone that's selling their personal vendors, you want to pay attention to the content they're posting. For example, on my business page, I have a whole highlights folder that shows my 2023 customers, 2022 customers, 2021 customers. So you can see my hair on people outside of me, you know? So stuff like that is what you want to look for. If you find someone that's selling a personal vendor list, you want to see what their customers look like. You don't necessarily always want to see their hair on them. You know, I mean, it's cool to see their hair on them, but you don't always want to see their hair on them, right? Right. So that's just the 1 or 2 ways you can go about finding you a vendor. Now, when it comes to how to get the hair, you do not have to spend thousands of dollars to make sure you have inventory on hand. Let me knock this out the way first, since I sell custom wigs. If you're gonna be selling custom wigs, so something that is gonna have a turnaround time. For example, my turnaround time is 7 to 15 business days. You definitely do not need to have inventory on hand. So this is how I do it. My customers purchase a wig from me. Once I have their money, that is when I purchase their wig from my vendor. Simple as that. I do not have hair on hand unless I just feel like having hair on hand. If there's someone like me that's selling custom products that takes time, that's the route you want to go. For example, if you're just selling bundles, nobody is waiting 7 to 15 business days for you to ship out some bundles. So this will not be the route for you. But if you're selling custom wigs like me, they're gonna wait. It's a custom product. So that's just that. If you're just planning on selling just bundles, you know, nothing customized, you want to look into drop shipping. Once again, I'm just giving you guys the cheaper options. Of course, if you have a couple $1,000s saved up to start your business, why not? Get you some inventory, have it on hand. But we're talking about how to do things affordably. And I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard about it. Just to explain drop shipping a little bit, you don't have any inventory on hand. Your customer is going to purchase from you. You're going to take that customer's money and purchase the hair directly from your vendor. And then your vendor is going to ship out your customer's products, ship out your customer's hair. You don't have to ship anything out yourself, none of that. What you can also do with drop shipping is you can send them your packaging or have the company customize packaging for you. The customer is still gonna receive their items in your packaging, you're just not gonna be the one sending it out. You know, so that way you can avoid having hair on hand. Most overseas vendors do drop shipping. So for example, all of the vendors in my vendor list, ask them about drop shipping, they do it. Some of them will actually customize packaging for you, your satin hair bags, whatever the case may be, and they will mail it to your customers. It'll take about a week to get to your customer. I do want to give 2 free vendors in this video. Like I said, the first vendor that I'm going to give you guys is Private Label Extensions. I use them personally because they do have some stores in Atlanta. Whenever my customers need a wig ASAP, that's where I go. That is not my main vendor. My Private Label Extensions, they do wholesale. So if you're not wanting a vendor overseas, definitely check them out. And then lastly, Posh Glad Wigs. This is actually where I got this braided wig from. They did send this to me. I've been wearing it for like 2 months now. I love it. I'm actually contemplating on putting some of the braided wigs on my website. I wanted to throw in a braided wig vendor because it's something a little different, you know. They do have wholesale and drop shipping. Now with Posh Glad Wigs, you do have to pay a fee to join their whole drop shipping program, which is why I have not done it just yet. But that's just an option for you if you're interested in selling braided wigs and you're not a braider. It's just an option. We got our vendor situation situated. We're gonna move on to packaging. Packaging, that was the #1 mistake I made in the beginning. I wanted custom business cards. I wanted custom thank you cards. You don't need all of that. And I'm sure there's websites you can get them pretty cheap if you want to take a look into that. I think it's like Vistaprint or websites like that. Get you some regular business cards. You can get you some regular thank you cards, like thank you for shopping with us. It don't have to be all special and all of that when you're just starting out. And then when it comes to packaging, you can ship your stuff out in poly mailers, y'all. Until you have the funds to get some custom boxes and all that good stuff, ship your stuff out in poly mailers. Take a look at youpacandship.com. Affordable poly mailer boxes. Trust me when I tell you, youpacandship.com. Go on there, get your boxes, your poly mailers, your tissue paper, whatever you want to put, and just start off that way. You don't have to do the most, okay? You want to do that. And then get you a website. Shopify, Wix, I recommend both. You just got to see which one you like better. I started out with Shopify, now I'm with Wix. You can design your website yourself. It doesn't even have to be some special, it don't even have to be all of that. Just make sure your customers can easily navigate it and check out. It does not have to be extra. It does not have to be a lot. Then once you start making some more money, or even if you want to do this in the beginning, hey, because this is still saving you a coin. But later on, if you decide to do this, go on Etsy and buy you a website template. It's way cheaper than paying a graphic designer to do your website. I've gotten some quotes from graphic designers, $500, $600. When you first start out your business, you may not have all of that, okay? Etsy templates are like $230. Sometimes you can get some on sale for $1 something. Go on Etsy, type in hair business template or website templates. You can just do a regular website template if you don't necessarily need it to be a hair business template to start out with. And make sure you pay attention to what website platform the template is for. Some of them will say specifically for Shopify, specifically for Wix. And then just buy a website template. It is so simple to customize what you buy the template. You just want to swap out certain stuff. You want to put your business name in there. You want to add in your business pictures or pictures of what you sell. In the beginning, if you don't have the money, just customize your website yourself. It is very easy. I promise y'all, it is so easy. Like, the website platforms make it so easy for you nowadays. And then when you get there, you have a little bit more money, get you a template off of Etsy before you even look at a graphic designer, because they're gonna charge you. And I mean, as they should, their work be bomb. But if you don't got it like that, you don't got it like that. So yeah, that's just a couple of tips on how to start your hair business on a budget, y'all. You do not have to have your LLC right away. That can save you a coin. Try to look into purchasing a hair vendor list from someone that you feel like you can trust. That narrows down the search by a lot. You don't have to purchase samples from 5, 10 vendors. It cuts down some time and it makes it a little bit easier for you. And then you want to make sure you are either drop shipping or you're doing the pre-order method, letting your customers purchase from you and then you purchase from your vendor and then your vendor ships your product out to your customer, or pre-order where your customer purchases from you and then you purchase the item from your vendor and then have it come to you. If you're someone like me that does customization, and that's when you do the customizations and all of that good stuff. Then you want to make sure you are not going all out for packaging, especially in the beginning. Then your website, do it yourself. You do not need anybody to do it for you in the beginning. And if you have a little bit of extra coins, purchase you a website template from Etsy. Do not go the website designer route. That is unnecessary money for you to be spending in the beginning. So that's just a quick synopsis of the things you can do to get your business started on a budget without spending that much money. And then of course, since I have payment plans, you're still not spending a whole bunch of money to get you a vendor list. You're spending a down payment of what, like $20? Yeah. Let me know if y'all want any more tips. If you want me to touch on anything specifically, I can do that for you. If I mentioned it in a previous video, I will just link the video directly underneath your comments. You can go watch it. So hopefully I enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.